Peace. And that's to the world, right? I speak from the present, projecting into the future. I speak from the present, which is my now, to the future. So by the time you get this, you will be in that future, which will be your present. And this is to entrepreneurs, trailblazers, pioneers, networkers, freedom of the mind, those that you striving for better. You a builder. Whether or not if you are a solopreneur or you a network builder / franchise builder such as myself. And I know it says I got a slow connection, but regardless, you are a CEO. You are a CEO. So that means that we gotta have a mindset of a CEO. And just because you are a part of a network or organization when it comes to building, that's still a CEO mindset because you're still an independent contractor. That's why you're not a W-2. That's why you have to create your own benefits. You have to build your own teams. And that's the building of the networks, regardless of what industry you're in. I'm in the health industry. But speaking to the future, what you're going to encounter, and it takes a certain amount of objectivity in order for you to be successful. It doesn't mean that you don't have feelings or that you won't have feelings, but it's the mastery of those feelings that are going to determine whether or not if you're going to have that staying power and the focus and the discipline in order to really get where it is that you want to go. And I'm speaking to you with natural light. I don't have on no artificial light. So connect with me on this level. Because like I said, I'm speaking from the present, my present, into your future, which that's going to be your now. Coming into this whole network marketing, whether you're a network marketer, affiliate marketer, every entrepreneur is a network marketer. Every entrepreneur is a network marketer. Because, and a direct seller, especially if you're on the internet. Because you're projecting value upon the people and letting people know what you have to offer in order to help to improve upon their lives. And that requires education. So you have to educate people about first your existence, and you have to educate people about how you can actually help to change their lives, or or how you can help them to fix problems. But we got to get past the business model. We got to get past the compensation plans. We got to get past the scaling, the leveraging, and the profits, and we got to get back down to the basics of human nature and the mindset and the psychology of people. And we got to know how to compartmentalize, because what you're going to learn is that a lot of people fail because of what's going on and taking place within inside of their personal lives. You can't build anything great outside of yourself if you haven't mastered certain principles within inside of your own personal life first. Because that's the foundation, is the self. So along the way, you're going to come across different people in different lanes, different pursuits, and you're going to develop different loyalties, which speaks to loyalty in my caption, loyalty, right? But there are different types of loyalty. You have biological loyalty, right? You may have friendship loyalties, right? You have institutional loyalties. You have what some may consider to be romantic loyalties or intimate loyalties. But all of the different types of loyalties, and I'm sure that there are other different types of loyalties that I have not mentioned, but just to name a few, those loyalties are attached to the specific realities that they belong to. Because where a lot of people go wrong is that you expect for certain loyalties, or you can expect that a certain loyalty is going to be loyal to every single aspect of your life. And that's not true. Loyalty is like a plant. It's like growing food. Different loyalties are created within inside of different circumstances. And those loyalties, sometimes they can cross over into different dimensions or aspects of your life. But in a lot of cases, those loyalties are only attached to and are only useful to the realities and the circumstances that gave birth to them. And you just have to respect that the dynamics of those particular loyalties. You have to fully understand the origins and the development of each and every last one of your relationships. Because each and every last fundamental development or original purpose or development of a relationship that becomes loyalty is attached to specific purposes. Some of those loyalties, they can last a lifetime within inside of those particular realities. Some of those loyalties can dwindle out like a candle. It could flicker out, wherein it could become a memory. Still a loyalty nevertheless, but it can have a short lifespan when it comes down to the purpose that it serves within inside of your life, and vice versa. Then you have true value. And this was my meditation why I wanted to create this video. In regards to business, in regards to building, in regards to transformation, in regards to creation, breaking cycles, all of those things, creating anew. When we embark upon becoming pioneers, investors, business owners, networkers, network marketers, whatever category, affiliate marketers, we are literally embarking upon building a franchise that's attached to a perpetual franchise that is attached to longevity. That requires a certain mindset. So back to the loyalties and true value, because I want to give some examples. You're going to come across a lot of people that you probably have already started your business before they became entrepreneurs. But when they become entrepreneurs, just like how you want support, they're going to want support. All entrepreneurs are looking for support from who? They first start off looking for support from the people that you know, that you personally know, those personal loyalties. But that goes right back into what I'm saying, that if those loyalties and those connections were not given birth to through entrepreneurship, through trailblazing and being a pioneer and being an innovator and being a creator and being a franchise builder and a network builder, then it's possible in a lot of cases that you could be expecting too much out of those particular realities or those particular people. It doesn't necessarily mean that those people lose value or those connections lose value. It just means that those relationships and those loyalties or those connections were not cultivated through entrepreneurship. Those relationships and connections were not cultivated through network building or network marketing building or affiliate building or franchise building or a vision of building financial freedom, time, ownership, and wealth. So when you go back to that, what is considered to be your warm market, when you come across this vision or you develop this vision, you have new eyesight. You got a new purpose for your life. You looking to build upon something that, that doesn't exist yet. The primary compulsion is to want that which is familiar to help you to build it. And by way of the statistics, a lot of entrepreneurs fail within the first, in some cases, 6 months to 5 years, or a year to 5 years. They tap out. And I'm going to get into that. But one of the main reasons is because what you'll hear and what you may experience, you will come to find out that a lot of people will say, well, I couldn't get anybody to support me. They're not talking about the whole world. They're talking about the people that they personally know. They may have some that what I call mercy shop, wherein just because somebody personally knows you, they may give you a play, they may buy it, but those are not really healthy purchases, because it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to continue to shop with you. And in order for you to be a successful entrepreneur, you have to develop a different type of loyalty. You know what that different type of loyalty is? That's called consumer retention. That means that you have a loyal consumer base. That's where the true value comes in, with the loyalty. When we dealing with business, entrepreneurship, and actually building something that's going to last, that's going to turn into residual passive income. See, because people that you personally know, they may very well give you a play because they personally know you on a loyalty level that goes outside of business, that goes outside of true value, but it's not really always healthy. Because sometimes the people that you personally know are not going to tell you the truth about your product, about what you have created, about how you do business, about your customer service, about how things really look and how things really are in regards to the relationships and how it's going to be presented in the marketplace, which is a cold and objective place. Because people want true value, especially if they know true value. They know how things are supposed to look. They know how things are supposed to operate. And they know that they want the best results that they could possibly get with for their money, that they do whatever they do in order to earn or to get or to make. So it's no different than a writer trying to have their friends edit their books. No, you need to have a professional edit your book, because there takes a certain amount of objectivity in order to reach a certain level of excellence. And sometimes the personally cultivated loyalties that are familiar are not going to always tell you what you need to be told in order to get you to that next level. That requires a certain amount of third party objectivity to be able to see things for exactly the way they are. Not just the good things, but the bad things. Not just the strengths, but the weaknesses. And that's why a lot of entrepreneurs fail, A lot of entrepreneurs fail in the first 6 months to 5 years because they lack that cold objectivity of that third party mind of saying, nah, that's not right there. People buying things from you just because they just want to support you. That's okay, but how good is the product for real, for real? That's going to be tested and weighed on the global free trade market. You see, how good is your marketing? That's not going to be a personal, familial pat on the back. That's going to be reflected through your sales. How good is your training mechanism? How good are your systems? How are you scaling your business? How are you leveraging in each and every aspect of the process, from the thought to which is the idea, to the manifestation of the process that the product has to go through in order for it, all the way up to packaging, all the way up to shipping, all the way up to marketing and actually getting those product, service, and goods out to the market, to the consumer. That's a process. And if it's not constantly getting better and better and better, and if you're not constantly getting better and better and better, it's going to show. How is it going to show? It's going to show through your profit margin. And being able to look at your operation and to look at the goals that we have as entrepreneurs, and being able to look at those numbers and look at what we're producing, just like how they track you, tracking your engagements on Facebook and social media. Is the same process, except there's an algorithm showing you where your greatest followers are coming from, what demographic, what country, whether they male or female. What it is, a stat always being calculated and added up in regards to your engagement in this virtual reality. But it's the same thing with every business. And that's the real cold facts and the cold data that's going to let you know where you strong at and where you weak at. But in a lot of cases, people run from the weakness and focus more on the strength. So what I'm saying is that it's just like me. I used to make shirts, and I make it from time to time, but that's not like my profession. It's just something I know how to do. But I'm gonna give you an example. If I produce some trash, right, and my friend tells me, you know what, that's a fly shirt right there, and they buy it just because they know me, that don't mean 100 or 1,000 or 10,000 other people are going to buy that shirt, or 100,000 people or 1,000,000 people. Why? Because they lied to me. They lied to me because they personally knew me and they was thinking about my feelings, right? And they told me that I produced a product of high value and high class, right? When really inside of their mind, they really didn't really like that shirt. You see, they really didn't like that shirt. They really didn't like the design. They really didn't like the quality of the material. And if it wasn't me, if they didn't really know you, and they saw that same product out at the store, at the mall, or on the internet, just by way of their true thoughts and feelings about that particular product that you produced, they probably would not have really bought that product. So what am I saying? Loyalty comes with integrity. Just because somebody know you, love you, loyal to you, true value should never be sacrificed. True value is true value. It should never be sacrificed. And what I mean by sacrifice, it should never be devalued or brought beneath a certain standard in order to please the thoughts and feelings of the producer. And when you tell somebody something that you personally know, whether you know them or not, the product and whatever is produced, it's either of true, it either possesses true value or it doesn't. But within inside of personal loyalties, the people within inside of your personal life, some of you may be fortunate enough to have people within inside of your personal lives as entrepreneurs that will tell you, for instance, you might make biscuits, but your biscuits might not be better than the competition's. Who in your life is going to eat your biscuits and tell you, hey, you know what? That's missing something. Because the whole goal is to get you to a point wherein you are providing as much maximum value to your clientele in your service of providing this to the people as possible. So this comes back down to the CEO. As an entrepreneur, you don't want people in your circle in that particular sphere of influence when it comes down to building the foundation of your network or your team. You don't want people around you that's telling you what you want to hear just because they know you. See, you might not, it's not about whether you like them on a personal level or none of that. It's about cold objectivity when it comes to building. It's either right or it's wrong. It either works or it doesn't. Y'all can get back to the personal stuff later if it goes that far. But if we're really saying, okay, you really want to be a professional, what separates the professionals from the amateurs is that precision, that discipline, and them being able to control their feelings and their emotions and look at the objective reality for what it is, and to be able to see that goal and to say, okay, this is what we're building. This is the finished product that we're looking at, that we saying that we want to build. What's going to get us there? Who's going to get us there? And what is it going to take in order for us to reach that particular goal, to put the finishing touches on that right there? That takes a certain type of mindset and a certain type of discipline. And it's not something that is just going to take place and just be accomplished overnight. That means that day in and day out, until that is finished, until that it might be just the first floor of the building. But before we can get to the first floor, the second floor, we still got to establish a foundation. And a lot of times people come into this lane, with the so-called boss mentality, already thinking about putting a roof on it. Just trying to throw it up haphazardly. Anything that's really built the way how it's supposed to be built, if it's really quality, if it's really solid, if it's really official, the most time is going to be spent on building the foundation of whatever it is that you're building. The foundation, because the more solid the foundation is, then that's going to determine how high or how wide or how far out or how more expansive that's going to be. But nothing can proceed or exceed or go beyond the foundation for which it's built, because that's going to just fall down. So now we're dealing with the quality and the caliber of the people that you're building with. Do they keep their word? Are they doing what they got to do in order to meet their quota? Are they showing up to the meetings? Right? Are they taking care of the basics? These are the things, this is the information that you're going to get along the way when it comes down to building what you build. And in a lot of cases, a lot of solopreneurs get caught up wanting to do everything by themselves. For themselves, by themselves, for the duration of their profession. And only a small percentage lasts like that. Or they end up in huge amounts of debt, or they tap out, or they get bought out. Why? Because that's why network marketing provides us with the tools and the skills and the education about business that in a lot of cases solopreneurs never get and learn the hard way. Because no matter how good your product is, you still got to have a team. Because the goal should always be to create a core mastermind team that is going to help to duplicate and to perpetuate that particular thought process or that physical process that it takes in order to make or to produce or to carry out what needs to be carried out in order to continue to expand and grow and to build, to create momentum in any kind of company or business that you may be a part of. But as long as you as an individual have to do all the steps by yourself, then you're not leveraging your business. So that means that you're just an employee inside of your own creation. And sometimes you have to be that. I get it. Because you have not duplicated yourself. So you got to keep doing all of the work. But in network marketing, it puts us a little ahead of the game. Because we don't necessarily, we don't have to create a product. We don't have to package it. We don't have to warehouse it. We don't have to brand it. Right? We don't have to handle the transactions. Now, I just named like 5 or 6 different steps that a lot of solo entrepreneurs have to handle on your own. You gotta create the brand. You gotta decide what kind of box you want to put your product in. The labels, Pitney Bowes, you gotta back and forth, to the post office, the creation of the product, now the marketing of the product, then, your customer service, and that comes with, that's direct sales. But what in a lot of cases is lacking is leveraging, because most solopreneurs never ever get to the point wherein you get a chance to hire what you would consider to be employees. And in a lot of cases, you don't want to hire other people and show them how you do what you do, because you may very well specialize, whether it's a recipe or how you put the whip down on a particular thing, because in your mind, you're still in a more of a cutthroat type of industry or of competitiveness, because you may be in the mindset, well, I don't want to show too many people how I do what I do, because you don't want them to take your recipe and go put another spin on it and become your competition. That's why network marketing is the best business model on the planet. Because when we train somebody how to do what we do, we win when they win. But when you in that dog eat dog competitive lane, right, what a lot of people consider to be cutthroat business, right? Because you see that even in the workplace. They may have you train somebody to take your job, you see. But it's the same play in solo entrepreneurship, because you don't want to show this person or that person how you whip and prepare and create your product, because you're thinking, unless you sign some particular type of contract or some type of non-compete or something like that, which a lot of y'all don't do. So you actually create your own competition. Now they know your supplier. Now they know where you get all of your materials from. Now they know how you put the spin down on this. So now it's no longer a specialty. And that's why a lot of solopreneurs end up having to be employees within inside of your own operation, wherein before you can even get to a sale, you have to perform 5 to 10, sometimes 20 steps within inside of your process in order for you to create one product. And then you got to market it, and then you got to sell it, and then you got to go all the way back throughout that process all over again. But how do you automate that process? That's why I love network marketing. So back to the loyalty and the true value. You have to create true loyalty through new loyalties. And that's through distributorship. No matter how fly your product is, if you don't create massive distribution, you're going to always be a grunt inside of your own operation. That means that you can't scale. You can't scale. That means that you're going to always have to do all of the work yourself. So what are we really duplicating as network marketers? What are we really duplicating as referral marketers? Right? Or money level marketing. Don't let nobody make you afraid to speak those words, because it's the greatest industry on the planet. It's the largest industry on the planet. Because it basically means that we have the capability that the solo entrepreneur and the employee or the business owner that owns a job don't have. Nor do the customers or the consumers. Because network marketing provides us with the ability to, first and foremost, to be CEOs because we independent contractors and independent distributors, 1099s, right? We don't have to worry about training anybody that can knock us off in regards to we don't train competitors, we train business partners. So we all profit off of everybody's victory within inside of our organization. Wherein in the other business models, they don't have that particular type of loyalty or true value when it comes down to training. They mostly train their competitors. That's why you'll see a lot of people will branch off and go and do their own thing. We want people to win within inside of this particular industry because that's what helps to feed our residual and our passive income. So CEO, you're a CEO, right? We CEOs, independent distributors, independent contractors. First and foremost, that means that what? You get to work your own hours. You get to choose your own schedule. Whether or not if you want to be part-time some of the time or all the time. It's up to you. Nobody is going to come ringing your doorbell or calling your phone to tell you what hours to work or what to do or whatever. But we got access to training. That's predicated on you partnering with the right company or companies. Fortunately, I was able to connect with a company that's a foundational company that's already established, already done been through formulation, already has an inventory that I don't have to create. That's leveraging. See, there's no greater leverage than that. But you got to be able to get past the ego. That's another point that hurts a lot of people. But hey, that's a choice. I'm not saying that people shouldn't create their own products. But how fast do you get that product to market? What is the real goal? If the real goal is, if my real goal is to serve people and to help to bring value to people's lives, to make people's lives better, I would think that I would want to be able to leverage that and to be able to scale that and to be able to get that true value to people as fast as I can. So if I can partner with a company that already has an inventory, already has an infrastructure, already has IT, already has warehousing, shipping, transactions, it already has everything, board of advisory, it has everything already in place. That means that I don't have to create or build that. What does that do? That saves time. That means that I don't got to create fire again. I don't got to create the light bulb again. I can utilize what already has been created and I can get that to the market. I can educate other people and get paid for it in regards to educating the global consumer market about, in most cases, I would have to say with our inventory in all cases, but when I say most cases, the entire industry, we're basically educating the global consumer market, which is the free trade and commerce, right? Everyday people about products and services that they would never know exist or never know that they existed if it wasn't for us. And when they make those purchases and those transactions through those companies, we're compensated. Why? Because we help to educate people about true value. Now, where the loyalty comes into place, the loyalty should be to the true value. I'm going to say that again. The loyalty should be to the true value. And that's what gets to the hashtag of race relations inside of my my caption, excuse me. Well, being that I'm a black man, I'm going to speak to black people, right? But this is really a conversation for the world. Anybody who want to listen to it could get value from what I'm saying, right? Because I'm not going to exercise no partiality. But within inside of the black community, right, we have this thing called black-owned businesses, right? Business is business, if you really understand business. And I'm going to show you what I'm talking about as far as true value and loyalty. And that loyalty is loyal. You being loyal to true value. So if you loyal to true value, you really loyal to yourself as a customer. And every customer wants quality products, quality service, quality customer service. You want proper shipping. You want to make sure, you want to know that that your money is getting you and affording you and gaining you access to the highest quality and value that your money can buy. But if you got your loyalty mixed up and screwed up through semantics in the wrong place, then in a lot of cases, you're going to get shortchanged. I don't care if you black, white, pink, purple, polka dot, or whatever. Maybe you got stripes on you. Because at the end of the day, true value is true value. So let's just say you're a black man or black woman and you are loyal to a concept that takes you outside of real business principles when it comes down to true values, products, and services. So you go inside of this black-owned business, right? But let's just say that it's not clean. And I'm not saying that's the standard, that there are not black-owned businesses that are clean and that provide quality products and services. That's not what I'm saying, because I understand how things can get misconstrued. I am presenting an example of why true value should be the leader when it comes down to loyalty. There has to be a standard. You can't just say, well, you're loyal to this particular mindset and this particular style of socio-political thinking, and then because of that, you're willing to sacrifice true value, wherein true value is not being upheld to a certain standard. And I think that that's the best way that I could say it. Okay? So if I find that, or if you find that what you really need is not being supplied or offered through your socio-political bias, then you have to ask yourself, if you're really loyal to true value, then that means that you're really loyal to yourself first and foremost. If you cannot get what you truly need and what's truly valuable from this particular marketplace, the loyalty that you have to true value says, by way of universal law, that you are going to have to get true value from that where it exists in order to bring that into your community or to bring that to your people. It's no different than if you sit 10,000 years ago and there's a particular plant that you need in order to heal your people, right? But that particular plant just so happened not to grow in your region or in your particular territory, which you may have dominion on. What if the plant or the herb or the spice that you need is growing on the land or the property or the domain or within inside of the dominion of another people? So what are you going to do? That's the whole making a free trade. That's how free trade and commerce was given birth to, so aka business. It means that you're going to have to make a trade or even a sojourn in order. Why? Because you loyal to what? You loyal to true value. See, you're not going to just say, hey, you know what? We just going to all just die over here because the plant that we need or the herb that we need don't grow over here. No. Survival says that you are not going to be no less of a people or no less committed to yourself as a people in the perpetuation of your people. And I don't see anything wrong with the perpetuation and the self-pride and the self-respect and the dignity and honor of a people unto themselves, unto ourselves. But survival says, through that love and that loyalty and the honoring and the recognition of true value, you're going to get that true value wherever it may be. To me, that speaks to the real true loyalty and the recognition of what true value and the upkeep of your life, of your people, by way of the actual application in real time. See? And that's another reason why a lot of black businesses fail on a solopreneur level. Because in a lot of cases, you're marketing just to a locale, or you have a marketing bias. See? But when you look at other people's, right, they market to the whole world. They present true value, and they don't put no stipulation on who could buy it or who they put it in front of. You're gonna find, for example, Dasani water that I think is owned by Pepsi Cola or somebody, right? I think Aquafina is owned by Pepsi, but I think Dasani might be Coca-Cola. I might have it mixed up, but nevertheless, you're gonna find Dasani bottled water inside of a prison vending machine, and you're gonna find it at the top of the person that's drinking a billionaire row. Why? Because Pepsi and all these other corporations, they're dealing with cold objectivity when it comes down to their marketing and the leveraging and scaling of their products and getting it to market. They want as many people to buy their products as possible, and they do not just market to just one exclusive demographic, which is why they're able to sell their bottled waters or to sell their product globally. Why? Because they fashion their marketing and they fashion their campaigns in such a way that it bypasses social biases, racial biases, economical class, demographic biases. You got to ask yourself, as an entrepreneur or a solopreneur or a network marketer or an affiliate marketer or a franchise builder on a smaller scale now, right? Because we all have the potential to go higher and to expand there's unlimited amount of resources out here. But they got the people thinking that like you boxed in, like, you know, like there's only a certain amount of resources, and that the wealthy are the only ones that have access to it, when in all actuality, each and every last single one of us have access to unlimited amounts of resources out here. It's up to us to tap into it. But once again, it's going to take the change of a mindset. So what am I saying? When you building something, you first want to find out whether or not if the products that you have or not are even something that the customers or the consumer base that you're marketing to would even want to buy something like that. Isn't that what Steve Jobs did? He didn't wait until he perfected Apple before he put the finishing touches on the iPhone. If you read the biography and you look into the cultivation of these multi-billionaire, these mega billionaires, they started off from scratch just like everybody else. In a lot of cases, they created what they could create with the resources that they had, and they presented it to the consumer base to see what the response would be, to see if it was even worth even investing any type of heavy or large amount of money into the mass production of that particular product. And once they saw and gathered that data, then they saw it to be something that was worthy to be heavily invested in. Why? Because they had already created a marketplace for themselves. It's not something that already existed. It wasn't resources that already existed. They created a demand through the technology. What is the technology that we possess right now? The technology that we possess is infinite. What is it? It's information sharing. There is no way to put a limit on that, because it's always somebody that has a problem that's looking for an answer. So if we already have the answer, or if you already have the answer to a problem, that right there equals up to unlimited amount of resources, because there are countless amounts of millions of billions of people all around the planet that have that same problem. The question that needs to be answered is, are you connected to, and are you seeking to connect with the people who can see that broader vision right there, and who are ready to roll their sleeves up like how you done rolled your sleeves up, and to make a day in and day out lifetime commitment to putting together a solid team? Because see, that's what I'm looking for, and that's what you're looking for. But see, a lot of you are running down customers. There's nothing wrong with serving customers, but customers are not necessarily entrepreneurs that are saying, hey, you know what? I want to build this business with you. Right? So that's just like kind of like putting the horse behind the carriage instead of in front of the carriage. So as a CEO, the first thing you're going to do is look at the blueprint or the schematic of what is it going to take in order to actually get this business up off the ground and to establish a foundation. We already know that we got the products. You already know that you got a quality product. Now you need a team. Now you need a team. What kind of team? You need a team of distributors. What are distributors? Distributors, first and foremost, are people that are already utilizing the product in their own personal lives. I'm a customer first. You're a customer first. You're already utilizing and validating the value of the products that you're promoting through consumerism and through your daily usage of those products or those services. So if you really believe in what you're presenting, then you will be utilizing what you're presenting. That's the first and foremost most valuable validation that you should need right there, that the fact that you will partake in it, either if you doing consumables like I do with supplements, whether you selling travel, whether you selling insurance, whether you selling real estate, whatever it is that you're doing, then you would already be utilizing it for yourself and saying it is good. You would be a living and breathing representation and demonstration of everything that you're telling the people about what they should be doing. Because that's how I see myself when it comes down to what I'm promoting. So can't nobody tell me that it don't work. And the only thing I can say is, well, okay, well, that person just, either I'm not getting the information through to them or not, effectively, or they just don't understand true value, because true value is standing right before you. Every time you come in contact with me, you coming in contact with the very true value that I'm telling you about. You're coming in contact with the loyalty that I have to the true value. What gives it its true value to me is the fact that I know it works. Not just for me, but I see it working for countless other people. Can you say that about your product? And if you can, then it's not the products. It's not the true value in itself that's in question. See, it's not your loyalty to the true value that's in question. What's in question is that whether it's through the presentation, or are you connected with other people that understand true value? Or are you fishing in swimming pool or what they call ponds? Are you talking to the wrong people? Because see, what we got to come to realize, everybody don't value true value. Everybody don't respect true value. Some people respect poor value. Unclean environments. Back to the loyalty thing. So just because you loyal to the race, or you're loyal to a racial demographic or an environment, are you going to sacrifice true value if you value cleanliness? So because you loyal to your people, if your people says, well, you know what? We're going to live in filth, right? We're going to be unkempt, right? We're not going to practice good hygiene. We're not going to have any class. We're going to drink the lowest, eat the lowest, and just have the poorest quality of health on the planet, right? It might be time to evaluate that loyalty and what you're really loyal to, right? Because see, true value, if you're loyal to true value, then you'll say, hey, you know what? Just because I'm loyal to my people and what I am and who and what I am, that doesn't mean that I have to eat the poorest and unclean, live in the uncleanly, and it doesn't mean that I have to lack quality hygiene. It doesn't mean that I have to eat the poorest foods. It doesn't mean that I have to drink nanoplastics. It doesn't mean that, when you spend your money on a flight that you got to, deal with the airlines that's piss poor. Just because it might be owned by a face that looks familiar or that is familiar. Because in that case, you're basically saying that you're more loyal to appearances than you are to true value. True value has a standard. That's what we building. That's what's going to determine the quality and the longevity or the lack thereof of the organization, or whatever kind of organization, because that's all a franchise is an organization. Whether you like it or not, McDonald's is an organization, Burger King is an organization. All of these fast food places that a lot of people are complaining about in regards, especially in the health community, in regards to how it's tearing down the health of the people, what is your counter? But you know what they've mastered? They've mastered production, scaling, leveraging, marketing. So what it has proven in the last 50 to 60, probably longer years than that, is that it doesn't even matter the quality or the health or the effectiveness or the real true value intrinsically of the particular product, but the value of the presentation, the value of the marketing, the value of getting other people to buy into it and to believe in it is also maximum true value. But if you can have both, if you can have true quality, true health, true value when it comes down to your overall well-being not having to be compromised, or the quality of the service, whether it's your vacation. When you go on vacation and you go to these resorts and you pay all of this money in order to go visit all of these other countries, you don't go over there and ask them whether or not if it's a black-owned business or a white-owned business or a purple-owned business. That's not what you really invested in. You invested in a peace of mind, and you were willing to pay the people who was capable of providing you with the type of service and the quality of true value that was pleasing to your eyes, your ears, and all of your senses to make you say, hey, you know what? This was a good investment and you had a good time. This was money well spent. Why? Because you're really loyal to yourself. You loyal to you getting what you want in the quality that you want it, in the amounts that you want it, in the ways that you want it. And anybody that could provide you with that, you're willing to give them your money. That's what's really being proven. You see? So, what are you really loyal to? Are the people that you're connecting with as network marketers, affiliate marketers, franchise builders, entrepreneurs? Are they loyal to what you're loyal to? Are they locked in the way how you're locked in? Is their vision equivalent or even beyond your vision? Because it got to be either one of the two. It has to either be that their vision and their drive and their purpose and their mission is either the same or is scaling yours. But either way, it's all moving in the same direction. You see, they understand what needs to be done, and everybody on the team is totally and unequivocally committed to doing whatever it needs to be done in order to get that accomplished. That's my message to you from my present to your future, which when you get this message, it'll be your present moving into your future. You see, don't waste time letting other people waste your time. Find out what they really want. Find out why people are really approaching you. Sometimes people can utilize what you have to offer of true value in order to get into your life so that they can start to devalue you. Your purpose and your mission gotta be number one. Nothing else can come and get in the way of that. So, as you cross paths with people, whether they all are people that you already know, whether they people that you come to meet or whatever, you have to be able to ask yourself, does this person possess the mindset, the focus, the mission, the discipline, right? And the endurance, not by what they say, but what you see them doing. Is this going to realistically be a person, be one of the people that's going to help me and you rather help you to get where you want to go? Because the answer is either going to be yes or no. Now, am I saying that people can't change and that people can't grow? No, I'm not saying that. I'm talking about your initial investment into building your network, establishing the foundation of your empire. That round table right there That's what's going to determine how fast or how slow you get things off the ground. I'm going to say that again. Because see, it ain't about how many hours you put in. It ain't about how many days you put in. It's about how effective can you establish the foundation of that network. That distribution network. That means that that's the foundation of your business. That got to be the most solid. Those got to be the most solid individuals. They got to be the most committed. They got to have the most focus. They got to have the most drive. Because if they tap out, then you don't have no foundation. You still in the trenches. You still, see? But if you really committed, you know that you're willing to stay in the trenches as long as you have to stay in the trenches until you come across your real, those that are really loyal to this vision in the ways that you're loyal to that vision. Is that to discredit all of the rest of your loyalties? No. But the rest of your loyalties are not going to help you to build what you're building. Those loyalties will be there if they really loyalties. And those loyalties are going to know that you're on a mission. They know what you're building. So you don't even got to focus on your personal life. Focus on your vision. Focus on your mission. And keep stepping outside of your comfort zone and meeting new people and letting them know exactly what it is or what your mission consists of and what you're after. I'm looking for distributors that want to help to improve upon your health and well-being on a personal level, which is your initial investment, using the same inventory that I'm using. Right? And that I have been using for close to 5 years. Let's make it plain. And I'm looking for those same mindsets that understand the business aspect as well. That's going to be willing to get trained up, learn these products, use these products, and share these products with other people and help to establish and duplicate and to create a global, a national, global, health and wellness distribution network that pays us all exponentially on a momentum level, meaning that there's no limit to how far that could go. Why? Because you may think that, oh, it's just about getting money, but guess what? We're bringing true wellness to the people, which is prevention, not being reactionary, but being preventative. That's my personal mission. And if that's something that speaks to your senses, we could talk about that in our own time. But I'm not looking for some-timers. I'm looking for the people that want to go the distance, that understand the vision, that want to get trained up, that are coachable. We have everything that we need. So I'm not looking for another company. I don't have to look for another company in regards to what I'm doing. I'm past that stage. That's just like somebody looking for some land to build a house. I already done found the land. I already have the acres of diamonds. You see, that's what the company that I'm partnered with is. That's acres of infinite diamonds. It's just up to us to cultivate a team that wants to attach ourselves to the tools that have already been created, already are in position, already in existence. And all we got to do is just learn these basic tools and get to work in regards to doing what? Collecting these diamonds. How do we collect the diamonds? All we got to do is just invest in our health every month through each other. That's easy, simple, but we got to get it done. And the only ones that's going to get that done are the people that know for a fact that this is the acres of diamonds called health and wealth. And what we are doing, we're transforming the health of people all across the world. That's the purpose. Health and wealth. There is no greater mission that you could point out right now in regards to possessing more purpose than that. With all of these people out here that's sick, disease. Look, I just seen Sinbad on a stage on a video, just lost the whole half left side of his body. And the only thing that I could think of is, what if he would have known about these products? And is there a way for me to get him these products? You see? Because he has the influence to be able to help to countless amounts of other people once he comes to know that these products exist. So if you know Sinbad, send him this video. But in closing, be loyal to true value. True value, and your loyalty to true value starts with yourself. So that means that not even your people, not even your family, not even your friends, nobody can sabotage, undermine, or seek to try to redefine what you know to be truly valuable. What is truly valuable? That which works, that which is natural, that which comes from the source, that which can do what it says it can do, and does it. Not empty promises, not just talking about what it's going to do or what they're going to do, but getting the job done. That's what this inventory represents. Hopefully, whatever products or services that you as an entrepreneur, whatever it is that you're creating, can say the same thing. Not through mouth, but through production, through results. But if you don't got a solid team, you're going to be doing all the work all by yourself. And if you don't scale your business, if you don't leverage this technology, we just got some new technology that's going to help us to scale right here on Facebook in ways that you can't even imagine unless you was to see it for yourself. I'm already using it, and some of my team is already using it. That's how we get wealthy together. We embrace the innovation, keep up with the innovation, see how we can attach it to our goals and our mission and our vision to help us to leverage, so that we can scale, to save time, and to cut down the process of the things that we have to do in order to accomplish the mission. And what's that? To educate the people, to identify with the right people, and to be able to bridge the gap and to establish dialogues with the right people that want the same thing that we want, if not more, better. Why? Because they recognize and are loyal to what? True value. Are you loyal to true value? Or are you allowing your values to be defined by those that have no loyalty to real true value? It's only one or two. There are only two types of people. You either value true value, you loyal to true value, or you not. Forget about who not supporting you. Are you supporting yourself? Forget about whose business was in existence first and who shopped with who and who. That's all chitter chatter, pitter patter. That's not what's going to give you longevity. The only thing that's going to give you longevity as an entrepreneur, whether you're a network marketer, affiliate marketer, solopreneur, whatever, business owner, investor, is your loyalty to true value. And if you're really, truly loyal to true value, you know you're going to have to keep reading. You know you're going to have to keep learning. You know you're going to have to keep meeting people. You know you're going to have to keep growing. You know you're going to have to keep staying sharper and getting sharper and sharper. You're going to have to keep on sharpening your discipline. When everybody quit, you got to keep going. Why? Because true value means that you have a certain standard that you've established for yourself as a person, as an individual. And what you're doing is, see, that's where the alchemy and the spirituality comes into play. You're seeking to connect with those same values inside of other people that possess those same true values for themselves, because those are the only people that are going to really be loyal to the vision and the mission, and that are not going to tap out and give up and leave you out there hanging, trying to build it all by yourself. So don't worry about the people that tap out. Don't worry about who quit. Don't worry about who give up. Don't allow that energy to penetrate you, because those are not your people that are going to last and go the distance with you. Focus more on the people that are doing what they gotta do day in and day out, that are showing up, that are doing the work, that are learning the tools, right? That are working that pipeline, that are constantly talking to new people, that are constantly doing those follow-ups, that are constantly setting those appointments, that are constantly getting on them phone calls, that are constantly educating new markets and new demographics and constantly looking for new people to talk to no matter where they're at. And as soon as you start hearing them making excuses, as soon as they stop doing the basic things that they need to do that you know you need to be doing and that you doing, then you already know that those ain't your people. So the question that you need to be asking yourself is, are you doing what you got to do? Are you loyal to True Value? Are you showing up and showing out? Are you working your business every day? Are you prospecting every day? Are you reading every day? Are you learning how to scale and leverage your business every day? Are you keeping up with the advancements and the tools and the technologies that are attached and associated with your company? Or that's your real business partner in regards to helping you to do what you need to do within inside of your business to get you where you need to go? And if the answer is yes, when you look to your left and you look to your right and you look in front of you and you look at your network and you look at your organization and you look in your back office or you look in your website or you look at your stats or you look at your charts and you look at your statistics, the numbers are going to show you a pattern of consistency of your loyal customers. See, because your loyal customers are people that they not just loyal to you as a person. No, they loyal to the True Value and what you provided them with. That's why they still shopping, because they know for a fact that what they have come to know through you, it really works. That's what's gonna last. Not favors, not because they feel sorry for you, because they think that they doing you a favor because they shopping with you. Nobody is doing a favor for you by gaining access to True Value. They're doing themselves a favor by gaining access to True Value. That's the mentality that you have to have. So when you look at your organization and you look at your papers, you look at your stats, you look at your grid, the numbers are going to show you the transactions. From January, February, March, April, all the way back to last year or whatever, however long you've been in business. That's all the data that you need to know who your loyal customers are that recognize and value and are loyal to True Value, and who your builders are. And you can get in your feelings all you want to. Oh, this person left me. This person left me. This person stopped shopping. This person stopped doing this. This person stopped doing this. Or this person never shopped with me at all. So what? It's cold, objective data. Question is, what you going to do about it? Your business is going to test you in such a way unlike you have never been tested before. Question is, how valuable is the True Value to you, and how loyal are you to your true vision and mission and your purpose that you say is the reason why you're here on this planet, whatever it is that you're striving to do? Are you going to let people telling you no, making you promises, tapping out, quitting, giving up? You going to let that be the deciding factor as to whether or not if you achieve what you said that you was going to achieve within inside of your life? Or are you going to keep it moving and going and growing until you meet those like minds, those real like minds that are really truly loyal to what you loyal to? Because when you do that, watch what happens to your business. Watch what happens to the value and the expansion of the amount of people whose lives you're going to be able to step into and transform for the better. You see, because when you get better, what you have to provide and how you provide it is going to get better. So then that's going to equal up to what? Better served people. People that are getting better results. More people gaining access to the True Value that you possess. But if you don't believe in your own self, you don't believe in your own product, if you don't believe in your own team, you don't believe in your own capability, then you're really not really loyal to True Value.